Welcome to GameStop Hometown Heroes, presented by PS4. I'm your host, Joshua Gray, and we're live from the ESL studios in Burbank, California. Tonight, we'll feature the top 8 online Injustice 2 players from the New York region. Now let's break down how the GameStop Hometown Heroes program works. It's week 1 of our 10-week online tournament, and each week, players compete for points in online cups on Sunday in one of 8 regions. Tonight, we feature the top 8 from New York, and next week, we feature the top 8 from Los Angeles. For more information and to sign up for free, head over to esl.gg/GameStop Hometown Heroes. Combo breaker. It was a doozy. The first in the Injustice 2 Pro Series event concluded over Memorial Day weekend. And surprise, Echo Fox Sonic Fox was the victor. The young man has dominated the Mortal Kombat X arena, and this victory is a solid first step. But Tekken Master is right on his heels, taking second place in Injustice 2. And Tekken Master took first place for MKX. It was the revenge match from EVO 2016. Last night on War of the Gods, Critical Reaction's Theo faced Semige from Team Noble. And after fighting through the loser's bracket, Semige was up 2-0 against Theo, but Theo's Aquaman got the run back and took the series victory. Congratulations to Theo. This is further proof that cats hate water. Let's take a look at some of the biggest events happening this summer, starting off with the Injustice 2 Pro Series. We got CEO down in Florida, June 16th through the 18th, followed by EVO, July 14th through the 16th, that's in Las Vegas. And the GameStop Hometown Heroes Regional Finals is August 12th. That's a Saturday, taking place in 8 different GameStop stores. More information is available on our website. And then those top 8 players will be flown to Las Vegas and compete at the GameStop Consumer Expo, August 27th at the Sands Convention Center. It's going to be huge. Get your tickets, put it on the calendar. You don't want to miss it. Let's take a look at tonight's bracket, Week 1, the New York region. Our first player, Kinetic Balding versus King Raj. That's going to be our first matchup, followed by Kavodaman versus Emperor Splash. Then Kinetic Predator versus Costner, followed by Son Goku versus Top Tier Zeus. This is double elimination. Those fighting from the lower bracket, the loser's bracket, will be knocked out. The winners will move on. And fun fact, Kavodaman took 5th place at War of the Gods. The guy's doing pretty well here in our online matches, for Injustice 2. But to tell us more about what it's like to play online, we have Michelangelo, our GameStop Hometown Hero Ambassador, standing by. What is up, Mike?
What's up, Josh? It's good to hear from you, man. I have a lot of thoughts. I see some cool notable names for my region, San Francisco. I see that Dab took first place. Congrats to him. We all know Dab. He's been around since MK9. But I also see some other notable names like Kuro Kiba. He got 4th place. Krusty Christian. He's actually been training at my house recently, so it's good to see him. He got 5th place. He had to actually DQ himself from the tournament because he had work, so there was that. And then 9th place, just out of top 8, Set Play is another guy that I've been training out here in San Jose. So it's good to see these guys, making it good in Hometown Heroes and stuff. And also the New York region, like you said, Kavodaman, he actually took me out of War of the Gods, which, I got to give the guy props. It came down 3-2, so it was really good. A notable tournament player, Costner. Costner's up there. He's a great player. And then the Kinetic guys, Kinetic Predator, Kinetic Balding. I'm looking forward to watching these Hometown Heroes duke it out and see who comes out on top in the New York region. It's looking pretty good. It's looking fierce.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the San Francisco region later on in the program. But when it comes to the current meta, what type of characters are you seeing played? We've seen a lot of Black Adams. We've seen some dead shots. What's your opinion so far in the state of the game?
Okay, so the state of the game, I see it as, there's the older characters are returning, and the new characters that are doing good, I think it's the characters that are easy to pick up right now. It's either you're picking characters that are good from the old game that you've been playing for a while, so of course they're going to look good because they've been developed. A lot of things have been discovered from them. But these new characters, I see a lot of hidden top tiers still that haven't been discovered, like Darkseid and characters like that, just because they still need to be fleshed out. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, this person needs to be buffed. And it's like, our community, it's like, calm down. Don't cry so much. Let the game, breathe. Let's see what's really out there when we have some time to discover what's out there, So I'm playing Atrocitus. He's a character I seen early on being really good, and it was really easy to pick up. So I'm liking the new meta. It's definitely a lot more balanced, like NRS does. They always, find ways to just balance their games. With every iteration of the game, is like it just gets better and better. So I have no complaints about the game. Of course, you still just got to give it time, really, and see how it plays out.
Yeah, the game's only been out for a couple of weeks. We're going to see some loads of drama throughout all these tournaments, not just online but offline as well. Now let's talk about what's happening next week. You and I and KP and a couple other people are going to be hanging out at E3. We're going to be doing a tournament. Anybody can join us for that tournament. It's going to be hype, and you guys can watch at live.wbgames.com. How excited are you to be back in LA for E3?
Man, LA is always exciting for me. It's either I'm going to go to ESL Studios, I'm going to go to Machinima, and now E3. I've never been to E3. That's a gamer's dream to go to E3. And not only will I be attending, I'm actually working there. I'm helping, you guys and WB with all this amazing stuff. So E3 is one. Just going to be so exciting. It's one that I'm really looking forward to just being, and then going back to ESL Studios, doing work with you guys. It's always an amazing time up in Burbank.
All right, Mike, now it's pretty cool that we get to talk to you here over Skype, but it's also really cool to see how many people have signed up for the GameStop Hometown Heroes program. Over 2,000 people sign up for this program. You've been to GameStop stores. You're up there in San Francisco. What's been the overall vibe from the community to see what GameStop and WB Games and NetherRealm and ESL are doing with this program?
A lot of eyes are a lot more open and appreciative of like, wow, there's a lot more faith in our community. Like, there's these big names, WB, ESL, GameStop, just being thrown around, that they are a part of us now. And, before, just like a few years ago, it was just the community, it was who you can get out there. But now with these big companies backing up, I see a lot more players following with it, just because it's like, now there's those players that it's like, whoa, wait. We got this is serious now. So I see a lot more just new school players, even old school players that almost like wanted to quit, playing fighting games. Now it's like they're totally rejuvenated and revived, like, hey, I got to get back on the circuit, man. It's no joke anymore. It's a lot of serious players, a lot of serious, money being thrown around. So it's a really good time, and it's great to see that our community and what we do, it's taken very seriously now. So it's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. It's so cool to have GameStop be a part of this now. Mike, thanks so much for your time. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week, and shout out to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, dude. Okay, folks, if you didn't already know this, you can buy the very special Michelangelo sunglasses or Katana Prime sticker at participating GameStop retailers around the United States. So another awesome thing that GameStop has done for us. Okay, for all of you watching at home and you want to get all the updates and news what's happening for this tournament, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at ESL Injustice. And also, to catch all the VODs that happen tonight, you can watch them tomorrow, youtube.com/ESLTV. They'll be live at 5 p.m. And one more thing, thanks to our friends over at Project Triforce, we are giving away an Injustice 2 The Versus collection. You can get more information about the product at projecttriforce.com, or you can send us a picture of your best low-cost cosplay to @ESL Injustice on Twitter for your chance to win one of these collections. Thanks to our friends over at Project Triforce. All right, folks, that does it for our pregame show. Thanks for joining us. It's time for our first match. Let's head to the commentators, Dustin Kane and Evan Hashimoto.
Thank you so very much, Josh. It is finally time to start GameStop's Hometown Heroes. My name is Dustin Kane, and of course, joining me is none other, my partner in crime, Evan Hashimoto.
Just like old times.
Just like old times.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about the bracket before we begin, because we do have some very cool players going on. Now, the nature of the Hometown Heroes tournament is that it is regional, so we're going to see a lot of really cool regional talent. Starting off, we're getting Balding and King Raj. So Kinetic Balding is a player who in Injustice 1 was a Cyborg main for a very long time. But Cyborg was known as, not on the higher side of things as far as tier lists in Injustice 1.
True.
Later on, though, he did switch to Martian Manhunter. He did extremely well with Martian, but we didn't get to see too much of him overall, maybe at offline events and stuff. And there wasn't quite as many online events.
Online wasn't as prevalent as it is now. You're absolutely correct. And then, of course, his opponent is going to be King Raj, who plays Firestorm and Aquaman. Interesting. He plays both the water and the fire, if you will.
Yeah, two characters you're very familiar with.
Yeah. Yes, I do play both those characters, so that'll be some insight going into there. And then moving forward, it's going to be Kevo the Man, who is a NRS veteran. He's been playing all the way back since MK9. Always uses top tiers from what we've seen in competition. He likes to pick the best characters, but to be fair, it works for him, so why change it?
Yeah, and he's very good at using what is good with the top tier.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's just a style that he's been using for a very long time. He's very good with it. In fact, he just recently got 5th. I believe it was actually yesterday.
Yeah.
5th at War of the Gods. He did well at Combo Breaker. He's been doing really well so far.
5th, I believe, at Combo Breaker?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Okay. Cool.
And then his opponent, Emperor Splash. Now, Emperor Splash is a player from NLBC, which is Next Level Battle Circuit. If you guys don't know about that, check it out. It's the Northeast's largest major, as far as I know. Or major, I'm sorry, local. Whoa.
It is the largest major.
It's basically a major. That's how big it is.
Yeah,
no,
it's essentially like our Wednesday Night Fights, and that's not to compare, but I mean, Wednesday Night Fights is the biggest one we have here. NLBC is the biggest one they have there on the East Coast.
Right, and he's been placing pretty well, placing around 5th. He's playing Aquaman, which is great for a person named Emperor Splash, right?
Right.
I mean, if he didn't play Aquaman, I feel like
you'd be upset.
I would be upset. It's like you know, in fact, Mr. Aquaman himself.
He played Ares in the first game,
and I don't think he plays Aquaman in this game either.
Probably not. But what's really interesting about Emperor Splash is actually his whole attitude on the competition. So he said to you, specifically when you guys talked, he said, "I'm not scared of anyone, and no one in this game will ever make me feel uncomfortable in the slightest."
Right, which is that's a really good attitude to have. But also on the other side of things, he said, "I'm here to level up and try to become as great as I can." He says he's nowhere near the level of any of these other top players, which is actually kind of ridiculous to say because he's in winners.
He's in winner's side of top 8.
Right, exactly. But I mean, he says he's here to learn. He's got a really humble attitude, and he also wanted to make sure that we talked about that he is representing NLBC because that is kind of the main point of these tournaments is to show off, you know, local, regional stuff.
Exactly.
And that's really extremely important to the entire scene.
Yeah, and I don't know if you mentioned this, but he beat Son Goku, who was also in top 8 to get here. So shoutouts to him, Son Goku as well. We'll get to him in a moment. Next up is going to be Kinetic Predator versus Costner. Now, Costner, longtime running NRS player as well, but Kinetic Predator is someone that I'm actually familiar with. He plays a lot on Pig stream. He's played on my stream a lot at MKX. And he's a Superman player, so he's been around for a long time. He obviously played Predator in MKX, but now sticking to Superman in Injustice 2.
So again, he's not one of the people who doesn't play the character that is their name, right?
Well, to be fair, he did play him once he came out at MKX.
Yeah.
But Costner, let's talk a little bit about Costner.
Costner he was known as one of the main Green Arrow players in Injustice 1, and he's back to Green Arrow for Injustice 2. Used to be from Mexico, but now he's regionally located in the Northeast.
That's true.
And he's honestly a very good friend of mine, very nice guy, and I'm really excited to see his Green Arrow tonight. I'm not sure if he will use him. We'll see. I mean, there are a lot of people that use a lot of different characters in this game right now. We're seeing more counter picks, I think, than mostly any other game. Yeah, which is cool. We do get to see a lot of characters.
That also comes into play with how much is on the line, right?
Right.
With Injustice 2 and the IPS, the Injustice Pro Series. Real quick, before we move on to our last match of the night, talk a little bit about Costner and another member of this top 8.
All right, so Costner and Kevo the Man, as far as I know, do not like each other very much. There's been some words between them.
Some words have been exchanged.
They have played each other before in tournaments. I believe at Defend the North, Kevo the Man beat Costner 2-3. And then the next time they met at Summer Jam, Costner says he beat him to make top 8. So
that's correct.
This is another time that they'll be meeting. Maybe meeting. They're actually on different sides of the brackets, but it'll be really interesting to see if they do meet and how they do, especially considering their character picks.
Absolutely. And then the last match of the night is going to be Son Goku, who we believe to be the founder of the Anbu clan.
Right, Anbu Fight Club. And that is a clan that I have seen around for years. I mean, it must have been... I probably started seeing them like 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
They've been around for a while.
It's been quite a while, and I've always seen them in every single game I play. And I'm like, we're Anbu people. This is nuts. Every game I want to play, I see Anbu people. And I didn't know who owned it or anything, but it looks like the founder or maybe one of the founders is Son Goku, but apparently he's not just a founder. He's also a player making it into our top 8.
You're in top 8. I mean, and Anbu has had a lot of great players in their ranks. I mean, Punk, Bushin Style, those are 2 players just to name some talented one. And I mean, look at Punk now.
Right.
So So that's going to be it for our top 8. Josh, what do you think is going to go down tonight? Who are you rooting for? Or are there any of these players that you're particularly familiar with that you're rooting for?
You know, when it comes to the players that we recognize, some of the names from the Mortal Kombat X scene with the Pro League, Kinetic Balding is one of the top names that we've seen over and over and over again. So I think Kinetic Balding is going to do pretty well tonight. Now, folks, we have a slight delay right now. We're just waiting to connect to the first match. We got our team working on it. We apologize for the delay. As soon as we get this first match underway, we'll jump right into the action. But one of the coolest things about the GameStop Hometown Heroes program is that we're working with 2 ambassadors, Michelangelo, who you heard from a little bit earlier in today's pregame show, and also Katana Prime, which is quite a character. Let's take a look at what it's like in the day in the life of Katana Prime.
I mean, I'm a machine. I work myself to the max. I've gone to events, worked the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get on a plane Monday, go and work a double immediately. It's taxing. And at times it has interfered with my personal life, but making sure that I find a balance and not losing who I am as a person is the most important part. Real life first and foremost, always. Born and raised Florida boy. I'm a dude who's moved countless times, so, you know, having to be somewhere new is nothing to me at this point. You know, as you can see, I just need to fill out everything, and that's the home, the area, and my place here. You know, work takes you where you need to go, and if the job is here in West Palm, then I'm gonna live here in West Palm. I was presented with the CEO of the Year award. It's a essential MVP of the tournament scene, and that goes far beyond just playing. Commentary, the breaking down the game modes, talking to people who have no idea, just selling the scene, and every bit of work I do to have that recognized, that is my personal, you know, biggest moment of my gaming career so far.
This is looking brutal at the moment.
He drops the combo. He's got to get one more confirmed. He's got to finish this. He's got to finish this. Break out of it? Brutality. Oh! He doesn't.
The fighting game community has this intimacy. You know, it's the best. And other gaming worlds, you know, the top guys are kind of on this pedestal, untouchable, super celebrity status. But right now, if you wanted to walk up to me at an event, you can do it. When the guys can all make it out, you know, we head out first and foremost to Versus Gaming Center down in Pompano Beach. It's about 20, 30 minutes away, not a big deal. But this is where, you know, it all came together. You know, a lot of us scraped up and built our talent in Mortal Kombat X there, and we had a weekly tournament going on, you know, for a great amount of time. And we just go and chill and lounge. You know, it's a great place. You know, cost efficient, $5 to enter and enter the tournament. You can't really beat that. And we just have a good time and, you know, meet up with everyone who can come, you know, on any given week. I got a crew of world-class talent in my backyard, and we come together when we can, practice here at Versus. You know, we just push each other to the limit. We get so mad. You should see us when we train. We argue like we're about to fight, but it's all in good faith and because we want to be greats. And training is an essential tool for the community. We can grow together, so we need to train together. Florida is more than just a bunch of teammates, man. We're a family.
Like, my neighborhood is very loud, and I live in San Jose, which is like a huge city of, you gotta be fast-paced. You have to just be on your toes, and I grew up into that. I, you know, got the Ninja Turtle band when I was a little kid even, the old school. People remember this. Damn, old stuff. So Yeah. All this stuff, like, this is actually signed and autographed by the creator of Mortal Kombat. This stick I won at a tournament. To see it all and like who I was as a kid to now, it is an amazing thing to feel like, wow, you kind of kept with what you love. I'm a big Ninja Turtle fan, obviously. I'm Michelangelo, that's what I go by. So one of the biggest comics I have is the first issue of Ninja Turtles, signed by Kevin Eastman. I got it signed by him, went to a convention. I love style just as much as I love video games and comic books. So I'm not gonna be that guy that's like the gamer that walks in and he has a Mario shirt on.
He's doing what he loves. I mean, who could say that? There's not too many people who could say they're doing what they love for a living.
This is like a good spot to chill, relax, and like kind of just like take away from the whole, you know, gaming and just life in general, and just be like, hey, it's a peaceful spot to come chill with my dog, sometimes friends, whatever, and just like hang out, you know? A lot of people you're gonna meet today are gonna tell you, they're old friends. Like I've had friends since I was 10, since kindergarten, and they'll tell you, they're like, dude, you knew Michael was gonna do something with games. Like that's all I wanted. Yeah, I know, as a gamer, I can't believe I'm like up at lunchtime, you know what I mean? Usually I'll spend those long hours training at night, so like I'm not awake at this time, it's still kind of early to me, you know? San Jose, where can you find a mural that has inspirational people like Gandhi, Dr. Martin Luther King, Cesar Chavez, and Tupac, all in the same mural? And yeah, these are my tattoos. It's just like some cultural stuff behind it, you know? Like, obviously you even see it right here, Day of the Dead. This is a representation of San Jose.
I met Michael here years ago. I mean, how old were we?
14, 15?
14, 15. Yeah, man, we used to dance in these silly little plays with these silly little sparkly costumes, dance around.
Here.
And he was always pulling jokes and getting me in trouble.
It's a good community to be around. Like this bar is like, it's right by my house. There's a lot of good friends that come here. Look, this is her, this is the mom, the one that created it all.
He was always a little show off. In his teen years, cost me quite a bit of problems because he was up all night playing and wouldn't go to bed. I would get upset, we'd get into fights.
She'd take my games away.
I took it away to the point. He ran away. He ran away.
It was just a day. I
ran from here
After I ran away, I knew I can't survive out here. I need my games. I need my, there's no
his games, not his mom.
Yeah. I've been doing this for 7 years, but she finally like, she went last year and it was at EVO.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to EVO 2016 Fighting Game World Championship.
And I'm just like, wow, she finally gets to see how big this is. And to be on that stage and see my mom like, you got me a Super Nintendo when I was 3 years old, and now like I'm in an arena doing this. Both of us never knew what it was going to become.
Oh man, KP and Mike, honestly, like, thinking about it and sitting here, you couldn't have this community without those two dudes. Like, we have known them for years. I met Mike in, man, playing online in the MK9 days. That brings back a lot of memories. KP also, like, an incredible community member. So it's just really cool to, like, actually see what it's like a day in their lives, you know? Because we all live differently, so...
Yeah, and we actually saw a little bit of those MK9 days in there when him playing against online Tony.
Dude, did you see KP's old fro? I forgot he had a crazy.
Dude, I know his hair was so fuzzy.
Bro was sick.
I bet you could put a balloon above that, and it would just you could pull him along with the balloon. I think.
Wow, that's rude.
That's not rude. I'm just saying it's
you probably could though.
Dude, I love long hair. I used to have long hair, but yeah, no, it was really great to see that. I love looking back at all the old times, and those two have definitely been around since then.
Yeah, since the beginning. So. Man, Combo Breaker, I just want to really quickly say, I went to Combo Breaker, and Rick Thayer holds one of the best events of the year. If you guys ever get a chance to go, obviously it'll be next year. I highly suggest you go to Combo Breaker, CEO, and then Evo. That's like my big 3. I don't know about you, but my big 3 tournaments is always Combo Breaker, Evo, and CEO.
Yeah, those are definitely some good ones. And CEO's coming up real soon.
Yeah, next week. That's crazy because I'm going to that as well, and I feel like I just got back. I did just
literally just get back from Combo Breaker. So how did Combo Breaker go?
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about it. Combo Breaker was great because I got to see everyone. It's been a long time since I've actually been able to travel for fighting games specifically, and it was great to see everyone. It was fun to talk to everyone, and the general reception that I've gotten from our community about this game is that most people absolutely adore it. They love it. They all play multiple characters. Obviously, many people have their main character, and then they'll have like a pocket Aquaman or like a pocket Black Adam, sure. But overall, the character diversity and just how cool the new systems are, everyone really, really enjoys it. The one thing that I got was the defensive options, for instance, like meter burn roll, air escaping combos. That was the thing that I got most as far as people saying, hey, we really like this, or this is a cool addition. And I personally, I like the meter burn roll because sometimes I'll get caught in the corner and it sucks. It just sucks. And then when you actually have a viable option out, it's really nice instead of like trying to do like a risky jump or something other than that.
Right. And back to what you were saying about a lot of people having secondary characters, I do see that quite a bit, and I think it's because this is one of the few fighting games where you have pre-established characters that people love. But then there are also competitors who want to play a character that fits their style. So you see people like, for instance, like Crawley, who's Michael Crawley, who's on our production, who loves Atrocitus. We see him wearing the RAJ shirt, all day. And but then somebody might love their character, but not really play that style exactly, and then decide, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm a Deadshot fan, but I'm not really a zoner. Maybe I want to play a Rushdown character, so I'm going to play Deadshot and Cheetah.
It causes so many controversies in and of itself.
He does. Actually, he's great at Rushdown too. But
his Rushdown, I feel like, is better than his zoning, to be completely honest.
I could definitely see that.
No, but so bouncing off what you were saying, like I was a Black Adam player in Injustice 1. Like he's my favorite DC. Whether it's a villain or character or hero, like he's just my favorite DC character. But then I fell in love with Firestorm. So going back to what you were talking about, like I thought I was going to play Adam. I was worried he wouldn't be that good in this game before the launch, obviously. He ended up being ridiculously good. To some people argue the best character in the game. And I don't play him.
I
play Firestorm because I fell in love with his playstyle. It is a little bit different, but he's just really unique and he's really cool. And he looks like a candle from Beauty and the Beast, you know?
Fire guy.
Fire
dude. That's what I
looks
called him
like you called him Fire Dude. He looks like Pierre. I like that.
I actually had a little
Lumiere, excuse me, Lumiere.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. You got that.
But let's talk a little bit about the format.
All right, so the format
of these tournaments.
Right. Hometown Heroes is a series of online events. It's once every week, and there's 8 different regions. So it's going to be Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, Florida, or
Miami.
It's Miami to be specific. There you go. Thanks. And then New York City.
Yep.
So you can enter online, just of course, just like you entered the MKX Pro League if you did enter it, and you get points. And the points at the end put you into a top 4, and you play a top 4 out at your GameStop, your local GameStop. Each region has its own local GameStop. The winner of that is flown out to the finals at the GameStop Expo in Las Vegas.
Good old Vegas.
Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that.
I'm really excited to see how all these regions do, because before we had it with the MKX Pro League, I mean, it was just the best players from all regions, but now because there were certain players dominating, there's Sonic Fox. I'm just going to say it. Sonic Fox was dominating. So it's really nice to see some of the people that just got close to like top 32 and top 16 but didn't quite make it into the broadcast. We actually get to see those guys now because they're the best of their region. They just couldn't compete necessarily with everyone else all the time.
Right. And also, the top 16 at any of the Pro League events they cannot enter Hometown Heroes. But that still leaves us with quite a few good players. I mean, we're seeing great tournament players like Cosner and Kevin DeMann, but we're also seeing players that we're not too familiar with.
That's true. We are seeing players like Kinetic Predator. He's mainly an online dude, and I believe we saw him before in the MKX Pro League at least once. But King RAJ as well as Emperor Splash. You know, these are guys that we may have not known about, or they were only talked about in whispers, you know, in their region. So it's really neat because we're going to see a lot more talent cropping up, especially with the IPS and even the people that are getting top 16. Those points are going to a bigger event, which we are going to announce at some point in the future, but it's going to be something crazy. And these guys all have the opportunity to get put into that event depending on how they do week to week.
Right. So, and plus, I just love the fact that we get to talk about all the different local scenes. I mean, that's something that we got to see even in Katana Prime's video is, you know, where he goes to play, all these local spots that everybody's grinding to get better. And, I mean, you know, we've got that here, even with Wednesday Night Fights, which we're probably going to be going to that literally right after this.
Right, immediately after this. So, and one more thing to talk about before we get into this match. Actually, we'll talk about it later. So we do finally have the match. And again, we thank you guys so much for being patient with us. We were getting this connection going and making sure everything was perfect so that we could broadcast it. It's going to start right now. Kinetic Balding, so he is going to be playing Cyborg versus RM's WPG King Raj going with the Firestorm.
All right, and like I was saying earlier, Balding is a player who played a lot of Cyborg in Injustice 1, and I'm sure that is his favorite character. So he's going back to Cyborg in Injustice 2. Cyborg is considerably better. He's got much better mid-range normals. His zoning has changed. He no longer just has to do straight fireballs from the air. He can also do downwards fireballs now. It just changes his complete game. His trait went from the healing to now he can drop the slow bombs that cover his zoning. They cover him if he's being comboed. There's so much that he can do with that.
He has the Roomba
setups. Oh, the Doomba.
The Doomba.
Yeah.
The way you looked at me when you said that. So, moving on to Firestorm. Firestorm is a very interesting character. He has an ability, it's like a Molten Trap. It is a low. He can meter burn it to get combos. His normals are pretty good, although stubby. He also has a great high fireball, and he has a Flame Torpedo, which you just saw get stuffed. That is actually an incredibly good wake-up, I'll bet punishable.
That is true, and I could definitely see both of these characters zoning really well. But right now, we're probably not going to see too much zoning back from King Raj, just because he already does have quite a bit of a life deficit.
All right, here's the meter burn. Oh, just goes for another.
Ooh, that was a very interesting ender.
I think he wanted to go for the reset. He just didn't wait long enough.
Right, makes sense. Yeah, because right there, the mix-up there, that is his. What string is that again?
The mid overhit is back 1-2, which is -10 on block, by the way. It is punishable.
Right, and what he did right there was he just did the mid, and then he went into the low special instead of letting the string go, trying to mix Balding up.
Yeah, and that is a riskier way to play Firestorm because he actually, both those options are unsafe if they're blocked.
But, you know, sometimes you got to do something unsafe so that your opponent doesn't get too complacent.
Oh, nice try for the punish. Does drop it, though. Kinetic Balding still with a good life lead. And that move by itself is actually -12. The Molten Trap, it is punishable, but you notice that Kinetic Balding actually waited. And the reason he waited was because he was expecting the meter burn, which will catch you off guard. And it will put you in a bad situation.
That has definitely happened tons of times that I've seen. You really have to respect the second hit right there.
Yeah. Oh, finally, that meter burn fireball is one of the fastest projectiles in the game next to GL's meter burn fireball as well.
Oh, and this is going to be inescapable, Chip. And Balding with Cyborg taking the first game. Now, Cyborg is just a character that we have seen very, very little of. I think there were only a few Cyborg players at Combo Breaker, but I mean, past that, I really haven't
Even
seen
in Injustice 1, yeah, we really didn't see too many Cyborg players.
Yeah, a lot of them switched to Zod later on in Injustice 1.
It's true. It's totally true. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
No, but I'm really glad to see him. He, like I was saying, he got a lot of buffs. Another really big thing about him in this game is, so both of these characters can zone, but Cyborg's actual fireball, his straight fireball, actually any of his fireballs, they'll do the same thing. They are the highest damage straight fireball in the entire game. So he will win any trade with another straight fireball. So for example, Firestorm's back forward 1. That means that if you are playing in the fireball war, he's going to inevitably end up winning unless you have a really, really fast recovery fireball or your Black Adam, because lightning technically.
Okay, good blocks here. That is +4, that EX blast. Down one poke. Ooh. Wow, look at this is what I'm talking. Nice armored forward 3. So this is what I was talking about with Firestorm. A lot of people consider him really good at zoning. I actually think his zoning is part of the weakest part of his game. His up-close pressure, especially with the meter burn blast, is actually very good. And coupled that with multiple 8-frame mids, as well as 9-frame mids, makes him a very scary character up close.
Right, I mean, with those super fast mids, in fact, that meter burn blast is actually plus a lot on block, quite a bit on block, plus launches on hit.
Plus
means, yeah, which is just enough to make those 8-frame mids scare.
5
more than
yeah, 5-framers, which means that the fastest pokes in the game, which are generally 6 frames, actually get beat out by 8-frame mids.
Right. Ooh, back 3. Both of these characters with extremely long back 3s. Get back here. Brainiac doesn't want to let you go. He needs that info. He needs that matchup info.
Oh, tried to go for the trip guard with a Molten Trap. Gets caught jumping. That was a very ambiguous cross-up. And Firestorm can't do that because of his air dash and his jump 3.
Oh, and that should be death. Oh no, could have used the meter to end it, but you know what? He got the win anyway. And that's one thing that we've talked about a bit, is the fact that Firestorm has extremely high comeback potential.
Yes.
Because you can break very little of his. If he catches you with any of his low blasts, you're taking a ton of damage guaranteed. I mean, he gets the low blast, back 3, forward 3,
or
he'll activate trait, all this stuff that you just can't break. And even if you flip out, there are great ways to catch it. So his comeback factor, or his ability to close out games is very high.
Is incredible. No, absolutely. And that's, I mean, that's a testament to the character as well, because we didn't even talk about his trait.
That is true.
His trait comes in 3 different levels: Flavor 1, Flavor 2, and Flavor 3. Flavor 3 is the blue version.
Right, it's the blueberry flavor. Strawberry, cherry, blueberry.
Exactly. And when he is in level 3 trait, his strings back 1-2, 1-1-3, or back 2 raw, which are the overheads, those actually cause ground bounces, and they pop up the opponent for meterless combo potential.
Right, and that makes his mix-up game just that much scarier. Not on top of that, he burns you every time he touches you for a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, even on block, absolutely. But really good adaptation from King Raj, and now it's going to be tied 1-1. Balding finds himself stuck in the corner.
Balding, when he was controlling the pace of the match, he was doing super well, but let's see if he can get out of the situation against King Raj. King Raj, when he started his pressure, it was very, very scary for Balding.
Absolutely. And finally switching the position, it's Kinetic Balding with corner position. This is what he wants.
And then this is Cyborg's natural game state. Is running away.
Natural habitat, Gorilla City, as we see.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. That is not what I meant.
No, but it was just, it was a natural habitat joke coupled with the fact that they were in Gorilla City that I found funny.
But yeah, no, he loves running away. But the big new thing is that he gets so much every time he catches you with his zoning now. If he knocks you down with a fireball, if he anti-airs you, he gets to set up his trait for free. His trait moves slow, so that gets to set up his target acquired for free, which are slow missiles that he gets to target on the ground. And then you have to get through all of that, or he can mix you up, or he just pushes you back even further. All of that. There we go. We're seeing both of those moves right now, actually.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Cyborg wants to do. And he's doing a very good job of it, but look how much damage that meter burn fireball did in level 3 trait from Firestorm.
Oh, yeah. He's pretty much tied it up, and he has the corner now. He needs to not get clipped by anything big.
Beautiful.
Here. Oh, but no conversion. He really needed that.
A second, and that's it.
He actually could have clashed, and he could have guaranteed himself life back there, but I don't think he expected the second fireball to catch him out of the air.
No, that was really well played from Balding. Now he is going to go up 2-1. Honestly, the start there from King Raj was great. He had Balding in the corner. He had Cyborg exactly where he wanted him. He had the pressure. He was using meter burn blast to keep it, but Balding was able to get out.
Yeah, and it looks like King Raj is. Oh no! He's thinking about it. What's he going to do? All right, he is going to lock himself back in with Firestorm. He does play Aquaman also, but you know, honestly, I think this is a fine matchup for him, and both of these matches have been, or all of them, have been close enough that I feel this is a solid choice to stick with it.
Yeah,
all he needs to do is
I didn't feel like he was ever really out of it. Right. It was just a few small mistakes, one of those being, like you said, he didn't clash at the end there in the last round.
I think he was just caught by surprise. It happens, right? It happens.
Okay, going with that back 2.
Oh, and that's gonna hurt.
That combo is so cool that it actually slow-mos in the middle of it for you.
It's the flash. The flash is running by real quick. You guys couldn't see it. No. Oh, and again, he gets the opening and doesn't finish it
drops.
But hey, whatever
so
works.
that's another thing to kind of talk about. King Raj is doing down 1 into blast. Now normal blast is actually safe at -6. So it's a really good tool to use, especially if you think they're going to try to counter poke you.
Right, because at -6, you technically would need a 5-frame normal. You
Which
cannot
no
punish
character in the game has.
Right. You can't punish a -6 nor move with a move that is 6 frames unless it's a special move. But also, this is the first NetherRealm game where there aren't any 6-frame specials.
Correct.
Nice backdash on that back 3. Wow.
On the ground, because technically, Firestorm's air torpedo is either like 5 or 6 frames. It's really quick in the air, but
of course
still, you have to spend the frames to jump, etc., etc.
All right, and Balding starting to bring it back. He's got that corner pressure, but this is an extremely deadly interactable on the left side. I guess they're not going to use it. It's extremely good for zoning characters, too. It does bring out the drone.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful armor back 3. And an early clash.
It was early in the life bar, but very late in that combo. That was literally the last of the combo. So he was avoiding the zoning getting started up by Cyborg again, but I still think overall it might have been safer just to save it for another.
And he got a raw activation on level 3 tree. What that also does is it regens life for him. And look how much chip.
Oh, he is just burning.
And that's it.
All right, well, yeah, 2-2 now. That means that Balding's going to have a chance to switch. I don't know if he plays any of the characters, but okay, so here's the thing. Every match that Balding has won has been relatively close. And every match that Raj has won has been pretty dominating. I mean, it's been still on his first life bar. So I don't know how comfortable he'll be going back to Cyborg, but it looks like he is. Like maybe, maybe not.
Oh, wait a second. Maybe. We could have...
Cold, no way.
No.
He was going Captain... Oh. Is this the tech? You choose the cold character against the fire character?
Is this real life?
He's actually
going
doing
cold.
it. Okay, so as if seeing a rare character like Cyborg wasn't enough, we're going to see Captain Cold, who is maybe very possibly my favorite character.
We're going to see one out in the wild, Evan.
We are. This is one of the first Captain Colds that we've seen in the top 8 of almost any tournament. I am so excited. Wow, look how many bombs he has on him.
Really cool, by the way.
If that fire touches him once, he's just going to explode. And there's explosion. All right, so Captain Cold, known for having extremely good setup, but his neutral is not that great. His neutral and his zoning. We'll see if he can get out of the situation. He does have a great wake-up, so that might get him out of pressure a little bit better than when he was Cyborg. Because he can get the combo. Nice conversion.
Wait a second. Here we go.
Ooh.
Charging up his trait just a little bit.
Oh, not blocking the overhead in the string. And that is another freeze. I like how he loads his trait a little bit every time he gets the combo. Oh my god, that was so sick! Comboing off of the icicle. That was amazing. Raj could not get out of that corner.
This is working out so well for Kinetic Balding. Are you kidding me?
Biophysics? No, I'm self-taught.
Oh, and
your face is priceless, by the way.
He is just keeping him locked in that corner. See, that is the great thing about Cold, is if he can get you in the corner, if he has meter, if he has trait, he gets so much off of it. But it's really tough to get him into that situation.
It is. No, you're absolutely correct.
And it all comes down to just how good his defense was. He got pushed to the corner as Captain Cold and then switched sides.
Yeah, look at this gauntlet that he is currently making King Raj go through. Such a good use of Captain Cold's tools, because you have to preemptively know where they're going with those.
Right, yeah, you have to make a really hard read. They don't have the hugest hitbox either, so you really have to know where they're moving.
And this is looking so good for Kinetic Balding.
Oh, anti-ring with the fireball. That's not the first time it's happened.
That block is actually going to allow him to get free zoning.
Yeah, it blocks one projectile, but one thing that I would have liked to see Raj check it with is the low projectile.
Oh, this could be it.
This should be it. He didn't need to do that. He didn't have flash, but he manages to put out King Raj's fire with his wonderful cold gun. And that is this is a ridiculously surprising pick. I mean, Cyborg definitely is known for having got a lot of buffs, and we know that he's a big Cyborg fan, but going Captain Cold, who is definitely considered on the lower end of the spectrum right now.
Sure he is, yeah.
Yeah, that was extremely surprising, and not only that, I mean, that was a pretty dominating game. As soon as he managed to get that corner advantage, it was just ridiculous. I mean, these matches were very, very close when it was Cyborg against Firestorm. And again, these are all characters that I feel like we don't get to see very much in tournament. And I love seeing stuff like that, which is a great part of tournaments like this.
Yeah, what a great way to start off the top 8, honestly. But this corner pressure right here, this is kind of what told the story of the fifth game.
And what a time to pull it out, right when he needed it. I mean, that was a huge risk.
That was a gamble. No, absolutely.
And he almost got burned for it.
But
not quite, but not quite.
That was so cool right there, by the way. The low overhead icicle combo.
There was also a point there where he literally just let the icicle fall on him and then just did nothing.
Yeah.
And it hit.
Yeah. So it is going to be Kinetic Balding moving forward into the semis, winter semis. And King RAJ is still in it because remember, this is double elimination.
Right, so all of these players in the first 2 matches are guaranteed to at least have one other match. And Kevo Demand and Emperor Splash will be the next match. Now, Kevo Demand, we talked about a little bit earlier, plays a lot of top tiers. I know he's been using mostly Black Adam. His opponent, Emperor Splash, has been using mostly Aquaman, but as we've seen already, a lot of players have a lot of characters in this game.
Yeah, that's true. So
hopefully more surprises like Captain Cold.
Yeah, that was really, like, you were literally glowing when he picked Captain Cold because I could tell how excited you were. Honestly, I haven't seen many Colds myself either, aside from some tech we saw from Sonic Fox, and obviously I'd seen a little bit of your Cold. And also want to give a shout out to one of our SoCal players. Oh my goodness, why
Revolver?
am I? Revolver. He's a friend of mine. I forgot his name. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, real good friend.
Right, but he plays Atrocitus now, but he did start with Captain Cold. So it was very cool. It was very, I did not mean to do that. It was very neat to see that character. But yeah, Kevo Demand, I saw him at Combo Breaker. I talked to him. He's a really nice, funny guy. He played, if I'm not mistaken, Osimo, and he eliminated Osimo. And I was playing casuals at the setup next to them while they were in tournament, and out of nowhere, as I'm playing casuals, I noticed that Kevo is literally just going ham on his stick, or I don't remember if he's playing a stick or pad, but he was mashing. He was like, "Come on, please!" And I didn't realize that he was playing, like I said, Osimo in tournament, and the reason he was doing that was because he supered and actually hit Eric with it. And what happened was he spammed so hard that the last hit, if he had not have done that, he actually wouldn't have beat Eric. So that's my takeaway from Kevo at Combo Breaker was he was just spamming and yelling in tournament at the stations. Maybe he actually was able to beat Osimo.
Maybe he was actually trying to hit those just frames so you get that little bit more damage on the super.
Yeah, so actually real quick, that's new.
Right.
So talk a little bit about that.
All right, so for every actual hit in your super, if you press X right before it connects, you increase the damage a little bit, but your opponent also has the ability to hit X and the exact same time, and it will decrease the damage. So it cancels each other out if you both get it, but if only one of you manages to hit the timing, which is actually extremely tight.
No, he was
not
like,
easy.
He was literally yelling. He was yelling and spamming at, like, he was just like, please. It was hilarious. And Eric's face, too, was like, even though he was losing, like, he just did one of these where he, like, cocks his head to the side and smiles. Like, come on.
Poor Osimo.
I am excited as well to see how, I want to know how Fabian does, Splash.
Emperor Splash. Yeah, me too. Like I said, he's been getting 5th at, around 5th at NLBC quite a bit, which is a really tough tournament. That is not something to take lightly. That is definitely a good placing.
And there are a lot of really great players over there.
Yeah, and just a lot of players in general. I mean,
that's true.
That's not like 5th at a 10-man local. That's 5th at like a, I don't know. I actually don't know the exact numbers, but quite a bit.
You can't do one of those comparisons and not have.
I know.
It's actually kind of whack.
I'm sorry,
but
that's my fault.
Yeah, NLBC, and he got 5th last week, like you were saying. So a really strong player nonetheless. But Kevo Demand has the experience.
Kevo Demand
that's the thing.
That
kind of almost wants me to give Kevo Demand the edge because, I mean, both of them play, you could argue, top tier Aquaman, Atrocitus for Fabian Splash, and then you also have Kevo Demand playing Black Adam. So those are all characters that can fight each other, although some people argue that Black Adam can just blow up Atrocitus. We kind of saw that at Combo Breaker as well when it was Fox versus Tekken Master. So.
Right.
We'll have to see. But we are going to take a quick break because we're trying to connect these players. Please stay tuned because when we return, it's finally going to be Kevo Demand versus Emperor Splash.